Hi, my name's Kat, and today Reddit has been asked, has anyone ever been converted by a door-to-door Jehovah's Witness? Somebody certainly has, else they wouldn't keep doing it. On a similar note, last night 2 Asian women came to our door and started talking in broken English about the Earth Mother goddess from the Bible. When I told them we were not interested, one of them said loudly, "Now we dance for you," and started shimmying around my porch. Definitely one of the more memorable religious sell jobs I've ever seen. "Everything's preachy," replied. "Well, I don't know about you, but I've always said I'll convert to whichever religion offers the most shimmying porch ladies." True story. I lived in Ohio for 29 years, and I've never had a Jehovah's Witness come to my door. Until 4 months ago, when I moved to Japan. Since then, it's happened twice. Next time I'm thinking about pretending to not know who they are and asking if their organisation has something to do with Shurinko. My entire family, seriously, just found out this past weekend that everyone, mum, aunt, uncles, grandparents in my family was converted. Only one person is still a Jehovah's Witness, but it seems to be the dark family secret. I guess I shouldn't have been making fun of them to my grandpa's face. Homestar2525 replied saying, "This sounds like an Always Sunny episode. The gang gets converted." No, but my mother used to love to invite them in and point out to them where they were wrong. Women knew that Bible like the back of their hand. Zeverus replied saying, "My uncle did something like that to some door-to-door Mormons. He invited them in, but prior to called his friend to come over with something. And as my uncle and the Mormons talked, my uncle pretended to be listening. His friend burst in, holding 2 six-packs. He cracks one open and asked if they wanted one. For the next 10 minutes, my uncle and his friend slowly freak out the Mormons to the point where they get up and say that they have to go, halfway through the door. Edit. The doors-to-door had been coming to my uncle's house for days. Up to that day, he had politely ignored them. Finally, he just wanted to make sure they stopped coming. With groups like these, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, etc., converting others to your cause is only half of the equation. The other half is for the person who is doing the converting to have enough doors slammed in their face regarding their beliefs that ultimately they have no place to turn except for the people in their group. This is a part of the reason why I try not to be especially cruel to those being forced to go door to door hawking their religion. Unless, of course, they're being especially pushy. They are far more a victim of whatever cult they're in than I. A friend of mine used to invite Jehovah's Witnesses in and trying to seduce them. They won in the end though, they converted her. And to add insult to injury, none of them will marry her because she isn't a virgin. This person asked if anyone was converted. If you are not converted, do not answer the question. What does scaring religious people with guns, nudity and debauchery have to do with the question at hand? Now, to answer the question, yes, I have been converted by a door-to-door Jehovah's Witness. I was 11 years old and was suckered in by the everlasting life and happiness. I did not have a lot of happiness at that point in my life, and I was a fairly stupid kid. I eventually gave it up because my mentor told me I would have to destroy my Pokemon cards and the cross earrings that were given to me. I grew up in a Jehovah's Witness family and was a baptised, practising one for over 2 decades. Ask me anything, lols. I always find it ironic that other denominations have disdained for the Jehovah's Witness and their annoying door-to-door witnessing, when they're only following what that Jesus guy specifically asked them to do in that same book they profess to follow. I appreciate their rigour and high standards of morals. It takes a lot of gall to get yelled at, doors slammed in your face, have a gun pointed at you, water hose turned on you. I actually didn't mind the hosing in the hot days though. And it's not like you paid to endure that abuse. No. +5 internets. No +3 Jesus points. No. Not even an upvote. Joke. Sometimes you would get an upvote, but it would usually involve more responsibility. Like being the sound booth guy, literate booth attendant, microphone attendant, or clean the bathrooms, reading the Bible in front of the congregation, writing your own 5-minute sermon eventually. But I distance myself from all of that. Like I said, I do appreciate the time and the effort they put into their work. Their intent is pure. I simply don't have faith in that book, the Bible. It has too many flaws. It has been through the hands of too many men throughout the ages. Men I simply don't trust. No, but my really good friend called me up one Saturday morning and said she was coming to hang out, and her mum was with her shopping and asked if she could come too. I said yes. They showed up with another couple of people and sat me down to talk about my salvation. I was annoyed. It's one thing to have them knock on the door, and I will talk for a couple of minutes, but to do that, I thought it was wrong. I was a Jehovah's Witness for over 22 years, and most of my family and friends are still practicing. 99% of you seem sorely misinformed. I don't believe in what I was taught for most of my life, but I also don't judge others for choosing to believe what they want. A buddy of mine was converted via a door-to-door encounter. He had been dumped about a week earlier, and the girl took everything but the clothes on his back. They had been married for a year. She even took the dog. It completely destroyed him, and he was to no end depressed. To add insult to injury, he lost his job, feeling completely worthless. He let them come in to talk when they came to his door. He's happy now, but it's kind of an elephant in the room whenever my other friends and I hang out with him. A couple of missionaries attempted to convert my Russian atheist/Jew father, whilst 11-year-old me sat there and listened to the debate. First time I ever questioned the existence of God. They converted minus one person in that house. The only chance they have of converting me is sending Prince to my house. No, but my dad, a minister, converted one of them to Unitarian Universalism when they came to our house when I was little. They knocked on the door and my dad essentially said, "You can come inside and talk for as long as you want about your faith, and I will listen attentively, but afterwards you had to show me the same courtesy and listen to me explain my faith for as long as you talk about yours." They agreed, came inside, and proceeded to explain their faith for a while. And when they were done, my dad proceeded to explain his faith, Unitarian Universalism, with a heavy transcendental deist bent and a dash of secular humanism, and at the end of it, the both of them walked out pretty wild. I saw one of them at my Unitarian Universalism congregation a few weeks later. No, but my aunt likes to talk to them. One day I went to help her move, and they had 6 or 7 of them at her house. Thought it was odd, then realised they were there to move her whole house. Barely had to do anything. Then they had 7 or 8 of them waiting at her new house to unload. Duck, yeah. Didn't have to do anything, but drive the truck. She felt obligated to go to their church for about 3 weeks. Moral of the story, if you talk to them, they will move you for free. Just have to show up at church for 3 weeks. My dad's best friend invites them in and gives them a copy of The New Scientist. My parents' home is about a mile from the Jehovah's Witness Centre, which I used to bike past on the way to a friend's house. Funny thing is, I never heard of them going round knocking doors, and it never happened to me. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work, so I'm going with probably not. I've invited them in for a coffee and let them do their spiel. I figure they must get doors slammed in their faces. At least having someone to listen to their sales pitch must have been refreshing. The guys are pretty cool, and they said most duos will be lucky if they get to convert one every 2 years. I wonder, has a door-to-door Mormon ever converted a door-to-door Jehovah's Witness? I wonder if they get any backdoor action. A friend was converted by Mormons, though he has since left the Mormon church. He had a dream on 2 separate occasions of God telling him that Judgment Day was coming very soon. An hour after he had the dream the second time, Mormons knocked on his door. He took the dream as a sign and immediately converted to Mormonism. I wondered this too, because 2 women came to my door a couple of weeks ago, and all I could think was, couldn't they be doing something better with their free time? They spend so much time going door to door when they could be perfecting a useful skill or something more productive. Not that I'm hating on their religious practices, but seriously, they can't have substantial success rate. Conversion doesn't happen in an instant. Conversation is a long process that largely involves becoming involved with a community of believers that will eventually convert the person. There are 2 ways to interpret your question. Has anyone ever been converted by a door-to-door Jehovah's Witness at the door? The answer is most definitely no. Has anyone ever been converted by a door-to-door Jehovah's Witness after becoming a participant in his/her religious community? The answer is most definitely yes. I wrote my dissertation in part of the Sociology on conversion. Comment down below if you've ever been converted to a certain religion by people who have knocked on your doors. I'd love to know. If you'd like a part 2, comment down below also. And in that case, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks. This video is sponsored by me. Sweet Mouthful Mixes brings pick and mix sweets straight to your door. Choose up to 10 scoops of your favourite sweets, or pick a pre-packed bag. Sweet Mouthful Mixes has a 5-star hygiene rating, and full PPE is worn whilst making the bags. With over 50 sweets to choose from, you're guaranteed to find something you like. Treat yourself, you've earned it. Get 20% off with code REDDIT.